That Generic Tech Podcast. I'm Timothy Matthews.
I'm Vinny Masidi.
And here we are. We're going to talk about all the stuff that's in technology. You know, mobile phones, laptops, if there is any laptop news this week. Because mostly this week, it's been smartphone reveals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
Finally.
Ivy Bridge is out.
Oh, yeah. The Ivy Bridge came out. Okay, well, there.
Yeah. Ivy Bridge is out.
Ivy Bridge is out, so spend over $1,000 on a new processor and wait 3 months, and that price goes down half.
Yeah, pretty much.
But this week has pretty much been about 2 companies, Blackberry and Samsung. So I guess...
And one more.
The Verge?
HTC.
Oh, HTC. Okay. Please enlighten me about the HTC. Oh, okay. Is that your secret thing that you want to talk about later?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's start off with Blackberry. So Blackberry World Developer Conference, whatever it's called, kicked off on Monday, and what they revealed is the Blackberry 10. They actually revealed the thing. What's cool about it is it's a brand new operating system that looks exactly like Android. It has widgets.
It doesn't look exactly like Android.
Okay, it has.
I say it's a mix between Windows Phone and Android.
Yeah, I guess it has that kind of Metro feel, but it has like widgets and stuff like that. Like it has a home screen and whatnot. But it has some cool features. Like when you're taking a photo of a still picture, and let's say someone closes their eyes, you can actually go back in time to that specific head and go back to when that person's eyes were open, and you can modify the picture. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Also, their new keyboard, which is something actually pretty cool when I saw the video demo, where while you're typing, it'll actually show letters above the key that you're typing. Like if I'm typing something, as I'm typing SOM, on top of M, it's going to say something as like my word choice, and all I have to do is flick up, and voila, it's there. And a whole bunch of other stuff. And it's running QNX, which is something pretty cool, and this is what they've been promising for like ever. And they also showed off a device which is called the Blackberry Developer Alpha Preview Blackberry 10, whatever it's called. It's a long name for nothing. And is Blackberry back because of this?
It's hard to say at this point. However, I do think it's a step in the right direction because it actually looks pretty cool. I have to admit that I like the way it looks. I really like that preemptive kind of keyboard guessing system.
Oh, because they have to compete with in some sort of respects. And so far, what they showed was the keyboard and the camera has been very, very pretty cool. Pretty cool innovations.
It's okay. They didn't. It doesn't look like they went out and purposely went to copy Android and Windows Phone. I don't think that was their intention. I just feel as though there isn't. How much more different can you actually be at this point? Because Apple's got the grid of icons going on, Android's got this grid of icons plus this crazy kind of widget thing moving on. Windows Phone's got the Metro thing. So, how much... I can't picture a phone right now evolving much more. It doesn't... It looks like a BlackBerry OS. It still has that BlackBerry look and feel, which is still good, but like I said, I mean, I don't think their intention was to go out and just blatantly copy Windows Phone and Android, because it does look like a mix of it, However, it's got that Blackberry. It looks like it has that Blackberry kind of feeling.
Well, yeah. What it does look like is it looks like a shrink down version of the Playbook 2.0.
Yeah, it looks a bit better than that, I think, actually.
Yeah. And they're stepping in the right direction of not doing exactly what iPhone and exactly what Android is doing. Like they're not doing a blatant ripoff, but again, I don't think they're innovating enough in order to like pull people out of the Android and iPhone ecosystem. Or it probably keep some current BlackBerry users still with BlackBerry, but I don't think getting the people back that already converted back to BlackBerry, I don't think it's that much of a draw.
Maybe not. Like I said, it's still in its early kind of stages, I guess.
Yeah, it's an alpha. So.
Yeah. So, however, there's a cool feature that I just read about. It's apparently there's leaked screen caps of point-to-screen sharing. So you could share your screen, your phone screen, to other BlackBerry users. Here, I'll post it for you, Tim, on the OneNote thing.
Sure.
Yeah, but like I said, when I first saw it, I thought it was cool. I think it's nice. I think it's nice looking. Is it enough for RIM to come back? I don't know. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to make any guesses. But I have a good feeling about it. So we have to be optimistic for RIM at this point.
Yeah. Well, sorry.
No, because they're not just throwing their hands up in the air and saying, "Okay, that's it, we give up." They're going through a tough time, and it looks like they're going to come out with something nice. So,
well, I mean, this is a good step in the right direction. I mean, this is an alpha, so I mean, a lot of things could change, and I hope they do change. What I do hope that they do is to push more innovative features. They have to start thinking about enterprise stuff. If they're focused on enterprise, start focusing on enterprise-specific features for your phones that iPhone and Android currently do not have, and that will gain momentum in the marketplace. If you focus on specific features on a phone that stands out from the others, it could be a deciding factor for consumers and for enterprise people. And that's what they need to do. They can't just say we're a Me Too device. Otherwise, they just might as well just close shop or do something else.
Yeah. So you think it's going to be a 4-way kind of market, or do you think it's just going to be a 2-way or a 3-way?
Right now it's a 2-way with a bunch of people in the third place sort of battling each other. Like the two big ecosystems is iOS and Android, for sure. But there's going to be that third place where it's going to be the Wild West of OS fighting. And that's going to be an interesting spot, but that's where you're going to see your innovation come from more than the bigger guys, I think. And it's always like that with the technology nowadays. Like look at the Linux when you compare Microsoft Windows versus OS X and then Linux. A lot of innovations that were then later embedded into Windows started off in Linux as open source projects and whatnot, or started the innovation starts off in Linux, and then it gets you can say, oh, they did that, well, we can do that too, and then it's going to be an interesting time. And you know what? I hope BlackBerry just continues to start. This is a good start for them. They need to continue on this track. They can't just stay like this is it, because this is not enough to in order to get people excited about the platform.
Yeah, well, now I think they have two cool applications right now. So they have that keyboard thing, which I think is phenomenal. I really do like that because no one else has that. But and the photo thing I thought was a neat little hook, if you will.
Yeah, but that what's funny? Because within the same week, someone else already beat them to it.
Who's that?
Samsung. That's the other person that came out with that announced a new product this week, Samsung announced the Galaxy S3. Now, tell me, Vince, why are you excited about this phone?
I'm excited because I like it, and I've always liked it.
That's it. Okay,
it was on my want list for a while now. It's a quad-core processor. The only drawback apparently is that it's made out of plastic. Now,
yeah,
I don't care that if it's made out of plastic or not.
Okay.
Personally, I think people are making a big deal about nothing, and I think these days people are making a big deal about just anything.
Yeah.
Anything any company's doing right now, people aren't happy, and they're just bashing and just finding little things to nitpick at. It's been really frustrating me lately. All the, let's say, pundits and tech writers and podcasters and all those people.
Yeah.
They've been really nitpicking. Like, just be happy in life, will you?
Very cynical.
So then I was looking, I was browsing around, and I saw and I'm not a fan of HTC. Was never a fan of HTC. And then they come out with this HTC One X. Have you seen it?
Yeah, it's been announced for a while.
Yeah, but I never really looked into it, and now it's released, and I really, really, really like it.
You know what's funny? I touched one today too.
And how was it?
It's a nice phone. It's a nice Android phone. What more can I say about it? It's a very nice phone with Android 4.0. Just the only thing about Android with anything else other than Nexus is that you don't know about your updates, and there's Sense UI on top of it. Which, mind you, out of all the add-on skins that they put on Android, Sense UI is probably one of the best.
Okay.
And it's actually pretty good, like the way it interacts with stuff. But again, with Android, it's always a big, hit or miss. But it's a nice phone. But actually, you know something? That phone is actually being compared to this new Samsung Galaxy S3. So let's get the specs here. I'm just going to grab these specs. There was this awesome article that compared everything together. And I just need to get it because I forgot to put it in the stupid notes.
Tim, you're supposed to be prepared, goddammit.
Actually, one of the cool features, while I'm pulling this up, is that there's a pop-up and play aspect to the phone, which means that when you get a video or something like that, you can actually have windowing inside the phone.
Okay.
So you can have, you can do your app, and then all of a sudden you have a video like on top. So you have an actual windowing system on the phone, which is pretty cool. It's going to have a 4.8-inch Super AMOLED display.
Whoa! What?
It's 4.
We're talking about the HTC One, right?
No, we're talking about the Galaxy S3.
Oh, give me that article. Is it comparing everything together?
Yes, and I will.
Yeah, I want to check that too because
that's not a problem. I'll put it in our OneNote. It's pasted. Cool. So, no, the Galaxy S3 has a quad-core processor. It's the one that Samsung announced recently.
Okay, let's stop right there.
Okay.
Let's stop.
Okay.
Does a phone really need a quad-core processor?
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Doesn't.
No, it really doesn't. What we do need is better battery, especially if it's an LTE device. We need better battery. These smartphones, the thing that's limiting smartphones now is battery. That's what I find. Flip phones, you can have a battery that can last like 3 days, easily. But with smartphone, it'll last like maybe a day. We need to fix that. And that's with any smartphone, anywhere. I think that's the problem that device manufacturers should fix. not putting a bigger screen and putting a four core processor, which makes no sense. But anyway, back to the specs. It's a 4.8-inch screen, which I'm going back to the screen because that's really big. But what's interesting is that you're about to say is that it's the same size as the Galaxy S2.
Yes, it's the same size, but what they did is they reduced the size of the bezel.
Yeah,
pretty much.
So they made more screen. They improved TouchWiz to have sort of a enhanced by nature effect, which makes me feel like the guys who designed this phone were smoking marijuana or something like that, because like it has water ripple effects when you unlock the screen, and I don't know, like it's a phone. Yeah. Anyway,
good resolution.
It's a very good resolution.
Very good resolution.
It's 720p.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
it has a better resolution than let's say the iPhone, but the iPhone has a smaller screen. So in terms of pixels per inch, the iPhone 4S still wins. Just because it's a smaller screen.
Yeah, but remember you were saying before the whole thing about the Lumia 900 and people complaining about the resolution?
Oh yeah, I'm not. All I'm saying is like
it's not that far off.
No, it's not that far off. And
shut your mouth, pretty much. You know what I mean?
Well, but there's okay. Look,
stop your bitching. not talking about you. Talking about them.
Mind you, yeah, the Lumia 900 is 480 pixels by 800, and the Galaxy S3 is 1280 by 720.
Yeah,
it's 720p. That's cool. It has 3G, 4G, all the Gs you want, along with 802.11n, G, B, and A, which it's funny. I haven't seen anything with AC yet. I can't wait to read that spec. The new wireless standard 802.11 AC, which is supposed to support 1 gigabits per second.
Oh yeah. I don't think we're gonna see that.
Well, Netgear is gonna. That's another story.
All right. Okay. The S3 and the One X both have quad cores. Yeah. Processor speed on the Samsung 3 I think was 1.5. I think it's the same as the One X. I think it was. It doesn't say on this website, but.
It sounds like the same thing. The GPU, no one knows anything about the Galaxy S3 GPU because it's kind of kept under wraps. But the One X, it's an NVIDIA ULP GeForce, which is part of the same chipset. The RAM is 1 gigabyte of RAM, probably the same thing in the Galaxy S3. These specs is like, I don't know. What's cool about the Galaxy S3 is that it does. It's continuing the trend of what Android used to be, which actually has external storage. So you can pop in an SD card and you can have a maximum external size of 64 gigs plus whatever internal size you select from the beginning. So you can have a 16, 64, or 32 bits. So you can actually have 128 gigabyte storage on your phone.
Wow.
Which is cool. The front camera is only 1.9 megapixels. Something to understand. By the way, talking about the front-facing camera, this phone is apparently designed that if you look at it with your eyes, it will stay open. If you look away, it'll actually close.
Wow. Yeah, I heard about that.
It's cool.
That's cool. Very cool.
8 megapixel camera with video resolution 1080p. It has, OS version is 4.0, which is Ice Cream Sandwich. And it has an exclusivity on Flipboard for Android, which was an iOS-only application. Started off on the iPad, then it went to iPhone, and now it's going to go to Android. And the only phone to have it is the Galaxy S3 for a while. Which, if you really like Flipboard and you have an iPhone, then hey, you can switch to that pretty easily. All the rest is the same thing. You do have a bigger battery on the Galaxy S3 compared to the One X, which is you have 2,100 milliamps hours. It's a removable battery compared to whether One X is not.
Yeah,
and it has wireless charging. That works.
It's a good phone.
It's a good phone. It's a good phone. It's coming out later this year.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what to think about this phone. They also announced a whole bunch of other things too, like the S Cloud, their own music matching service, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Which, how are you supposed to keep track of all this stuff?
I know it was like S Voice, S Picture, S Music, S Galaxy 3, S 4692. I don't know.
It's insane. And I don't know, all these things, and like they also have like a Dropbox feature, and if you have a Galaxy S3, you get 50 gigabytes of Dropbox storage as well. Something to note as well. Man, there's a lot of stuff in this phone. What do you think about it? You saw this and you wanted this right away.
Yeah, I saw it. I wanted it right away. And then I saw the One X and wanted that right away.
Well, what made you want to get the One X more?
I don't know.
Okay. That's a good answer.
I liked it when I saw it. I'm like, hey, this is a nice looking phone, and it's by HTC. Comparing it's almost identical performance-wise and all that stuff to the S3, but it looks like there's some differences as well. I like the look of the One X a lot.
It's a nice phone. It's a nice looking phone. I'm telling you right now.
It's a nice looking phone. It's not like a rip off of anything else. It's its own. I guess that's why I like it, because it's its own thing. I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's its own. Like it didn't bite off anybody, and I guess that's what I'm liking more these days. Just that when you just do your own thing, and that's why I like the Lumia 900. Because there's no other phone that looks like that anywhere else. I like the One X because it looks different. The Galaxy S3, I've always liked the Galaxy. And, just having a quad-core, a 4.8-inch Super AMOLED display, 8 megapixel camera, and all that stuff just adds to the sweetness. You know what? Looking at all these specs, beside all these... beside the Galaxy S3, the One X, the Lumia 900, is also the Galaxy Nexus. And the Galaxy Nexus compared to these phones is not that far off either, which is pretty surprising for me.
Yeah, I mean, if I were to recommend an Android device, it would definitely be the Galaxy Nexus.
Now I'm really curious about the next Galaxy Nexus that's going to come out.
Oh, it's going to come out at the end of the year.
Yeah,
they've always announced these phones at the end of the year or the beginning of the year in January, either or.
But Apple should be announcing theirs soon, no?
Mm-mm. No, they're. I don't think.
When are they going to be announcing? I thought it was soon.
No, I don't think so. They have a Worldwide Developers Conference, which is in June, I think.
So they're probably going to say something there.
No.
I'm not going to hint that.
It's too soon.
Oh yeah,
it's too soon. I think they've waited longer from the 4 to the 4S and made it to an October release. And I think they're going to stay with that because that kind of a release it coincides with back to school time.
Okay,
and as well as the holiday season.
Yeah.
So that makes that a lot easier to manage than doing it in the summertime.
Okay.
And then when you get it for Christmas, and then they announce a new one, like 6 months later, you kind of, doesn't really work out. If it's freshly announced before the holidays, they want to, keep that like that. They don't want to release another phone in the summer probably.
Yeah. Just to point out, I was going to point out something. I had it at the tip of my tongue, and guess what? I forgot.
Okay.
And hopefully it's going to come back. For the time being, I'm putting some things in the show notes for people. If you want to click on it, there are links. I'll put the phone comparison on there. And then I guess that's about it for now. And I'll also put the Blackberry the leaked screenshots of the screen sharing for BlackBerry 10.
Cool.
For you show note people who actually go to the show notes and want to see what we're talking about.
So there's there's an interesting article that came out this past week.
Okay.
It was a guy from The Verge, and he put an article that says, "I'm leaving the internet for a year."
All right.
So what does this mean? He is actually abandoning anything that's internet related, sending emails, other stuff like that. His smartphone, he switched to a dumb phone.
Okay.
His iPad, he turned off the internet on it.
Okay.
His home it doesn't have internet. He just has basic cable and whatever.
I would die.
Yeah. So what this experiment is just to probably see how it is to live, because there are some people, there's a lot of people that live like this, and they don't have the internet, they're not as connected as we are, and they're still like that, and he's just trying to understand it from their perspective of the whole internet thing and what's going on and whatnot, and he wants to see if there's any benefits of not being so connected to the world. Okay. So now, my question is that, do we live in a society that's too connected to the internet, where we can wake up and we go and check the internet and we know instantly everything? Or, I can say something and it's been read by 50,000 people.
Yeah, you know what? I do think we're too connected.
Yeah?
Yeah, because... you know what, though? In the end, it's the person's fault for maybe posting a bit too much about themselves, especially on Facebook. I'm obviously going to use Facebook as the prime example here. I just see like people put, and I don't agree with this at all. I'm not like that. I do have a Facebook account, but I don't post my life on there. I will never post my life on there.
I remember you hated Facebook. You were so proud. I remember when I was in school with you. Yeah. You were like so proud that you did not have a Facebook. I'm like, I'm not on Facebook. Yeah. I'm good.
Yeah. And I know I still, whatever. Me and Facebook, I guess we made peace. But man, when I go on, sometimes I just feel like strangling almost everyone on my friends list. I'm sorry. I want to strangle you guys. But there's just so much information about people, and I just want to. Why do you want all of that stuff about you on there? That's how I feel.
Okay, here's another spin of the whole internet thing. Are you one of those people that has to, like, when you're doing nothing, you just pop up your phone and check something? Because I'm definitely one of those guys.
Yeah, unfortunately. I think we're worse off because this is the career that we chose.
I guess.
But as compared to the regular person, because, we're probably going to be like, oh, what's Microsoft and Apple up to? Let's go check out. Maybe they announced something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess.
But no, I think we're too connected, and we are too connected. Now it's like when I'm driving down the street, I like to see kids playing on the street because I see it less and less every day. Because they're either going to be inside or updating Facebook or Twitter, or going to be playing video games or something. Don't get me wrong, I play video games too, but I still play sports. And when I was younger, because we didn't have as many internet privileges as the kids do today, we were outside playing street hockey and playing war and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. To complete, like, when I go camping and stuff, I don't have no internet, no nothing. I don't want to know nothing about the internet. Me and the internet are not friends when I'm, going camping or fishing or something. No, and I think people need that. You need to just, like, disconnect and just be alone from the internet, because it's something that, like, there's so much information and you're always in touch with people. It's crazy. It's just and it's so easy too, right? I mean, you sit down and bang, you're on, and you have practically the world at your fingertips. It's insane. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that we might be a bit too connected for our own good.
Yeah, like I agree with you. I think that that we live in a very interesting time where we have all this awesome information that we've never had before, and there's ways to communicate with people that we've never had before. Like, seriously, there's sometimes, like today I had like another epiphany of how the internet really shaped my life. Because I'll tell you, how can I say this? Before I got into technology and all that stuff, I was a musician. Okay, and what's very interesting is that how can I say this? When I first started out playing, when I played in a concert band in high school and whatnot, that was cool. But what really got me more interested is starting to learn popular songs on guitar and started learning on bass, and that's when I discovered my instrument through that, because I was playing music that I was listening to, not only concert band stuff. And the way I learned how to play, not the bass, but how to learn the songs and whatnot, it was through the internet, something called tabs, which you could just do a Google search on any song and you say tabs at the end, you'll find out how to play that song.
Okay.
So that shaped me as well. And also, like, all the stuff that I'm learning now, it's all based off the internet. Like, whatever I don't know, I ask the internet, please give me the information so I can learn. And all the stuff that I've learned, and all the speediness of learning that stuff to research information at their fingertips, is very useful for people today. So people can actually just get that information right away. And you know, there's always pros and cons to the situation. I can't live without the internet, but I can also see his point of view, where sometimes we miss certain things in life. Like, I remember I was thinking about it this week, and I'm like, when's the last time I just did not do anything? Or I just sat, like, I don't know, I was doing something else constructive, but I did not have, like, my phone and checking Twitter and checking, email and stuff like that on my smartphone, or going on the internet on my laptop. When was the last time I just, back in like the 90s, when I was like, let me call my friend and let's go play baseball.
Yeah, I understand.
That's the kind of thing that we're kind of missing, and I think that he, let me get his name here, Paul Miller, has a point, but I think there's two extremes. There's the extremes of always online, checking everything, and you have to be like always online in every waking moment. You have to be online, and then there's not being online at all. And there are two extremes that don't really make sense in either way, because to continuously wire yourself to the internet and not do anything is kind of losing your humanity in some respect, and sort of losing some sort of you're losing some sort of your personality to share that with other people and to actually socialize with other people. And compared to where you're not using the internet at all, and you're kind of stepping backwards. It's like saying, I don't want to drive a car, I want to do a horse and buggy, because we get to places too fast.
Yeah, it's funny, because you could look at it so many different ways. It just I think people just have to find a balance, because just here's a little food for thought.
Okay.
I went to Rockaberry's Friday night.
Rockaberry's is a cafe cake place. Just to
it's like you could they got like food, and you could order a pie or something, piece of cake or whatever.
Rock a shake. So, okay, when I go out with friends,
or if I'm out with my fiance. So I was with my fiance and her best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I had my cell phone with me. Mm-hmm. And my cell phone was on the table.
Yeah.
It's there if someone calls.
Yeah.
Okay, it's on the table. I'm not like this and talking. I'm not like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and there's an HTC One commercial on TV right now. Anyway, so these two girls come sit next to us on the table beside us. And, I'm talking with my fiance and her best friend. We're all talking, engaging in conversation like regular people. And, we're all around like 26, 27 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So, we grew up in the 90s, right? We're born in 80s, grew up in 90s. These two younger girls come sit next to us. They must have been in, I guess, their 20s. Or maybe, I'm going to say 18, 20s, around there.
Okay.
The gap isn't that far. But
10 years.
they the whole point is that they sat down across from each other and they were doing this the whole time. Ordering coffee.
Yeah,
and they were just tapping on their phones.
Yeah, they were holding their phones in front of their face.
And then they say one thing to each other and then go back to their phones and they're like giggling and looking at their phones and giggling and smiling. That is too connected.
Yeah.
That is... now I feel as if they're losing their kind of person-to-person social ability.
Yeah.
Understand? Because they're behind this phone and they're just tapping away. Here I am. I'm engaging in conversation with two human beings who are in front of me, and she's just so engaged. They're both so engaged in their own devices that they're completely disregarding each other. And I see that more often. Especially, let's say I go to a restaurant with my fiance. We're alone. We talk to each other. We'll talk about whatever we want to talk about.
Yeah.
So then, I would see this young couple, like kind of like on a first date or something, or just dating. They're younger than us,
mm-hmm.
and it's the same thing. They're just on their phones, eating and not talking to each other at all. They'll say like a couple words and then they'll go back to their phones. It's crazy, and I'm just like, what's the point? Right. You guys just should have stayed home and started twittering each other from there, in that case. or order pizza and talk to each other through a screen. That's where I think it's becoming too much. Yeah. Where people are like losing their ability to like talk to one another face to face.
Right. No, that's exactly it.
One more thing.
Mm-hmm.
When you go on vacation or something, there's people, and I don't agree with this. I'm going to be open with my opinion,
mm-hmm.
and it's my opinion. Whatever, you don't have to agree with it.
No.
Whatever. I don't. What you do whatever you do in your life. I'm not. I'm not condemning you or whatever. You put 250 pictures on Facebook about your vacation. So, you're clicking through 250 or whatever, even more pictures about your vacation. And, why can't you just be like and it was fun where you'd go on vacation and then you say, okay, hey, come over and look at my pictures,
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with it, but like it's still it's another way of avoiding human contact.
Not really.
It is. But you're posting your entire life on there, your entire vacation.
But okay, pictures are not your entire vacation.
I think it's a bit too much. And posting pictures of your babies, I don't agree with that either.
Okay.
And your small kids, I don't agree with doing that.
Okay.
People are weird, that's why.
But okay. But I mean, like, okay, if I go on vacation, like I'm going on vacation to Vancouver, and I'm going to go there, I'm going to be taking a shit ton of pictures because, like, I've never been to the West Coast ever, and it's going to be awesome, and it's going to be like where the Rockies are, and I'm just going to take a crap ton of pictures. I'm going June 22nd.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So,
how long?
For 7 days.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm coming back the 29th.
So you're going to tell me you're going to post your entire vacation on Facebook?
Sure, because there's going to be some people that I won't be able to see. and I would like to share the pictures with them anyway.
I don't know. I don't know. It's just not for me.
It's
posting
just
everything. I don't like to post almost anything on Facebook. But that's my opinion, right? That's just me.
Okay, like if posting that you're eating a ham sandwich, that is kind of crazy. But I mean, like posting something that's important to you or something that you want to share with. That there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, there's no problem with that.
Like I mean, like if I like for example, I pass the test, I get a diploma, and I want to post a picture of it and put it on Facebook because I'm proud of that. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's not. No.
You know, or if I go on vacation and say, "Oh, look at this awesome place I went to, and look at all these crazy things," and like you post on Facebook. You know, it's not like you're posting each photo at a time. It's like one album. It says album posted there. You know, and if you want to look, you can look. You know, I don't know. It's that I don't agree with you.
Well, we'll agree to disagree.
Cool. All right. So,
but no, I do think people are too connected. I think people are a bit too. How can I put it? I just think people share a bit too much, and they don't put any filters up. That's what I think. And it's just that, you know, when you're out with somebody, just put away your phone. Like you're out for a reason, right? You're
right.
out to interact with one another. You're out to, you know, be with each other. You know, you want to bask in each other's company. You're with a group of friends. You're not supposed to be tied down to the screen all the time. And this is coming from a tech guy. I'm a tech guy. You know what I mean? Like I'm surrounded by screens every day.
Yeah, but I mean, it depends. I guess everything is good in moderation, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, if it's a little bit of something or too much of something is never good. Actually, if for people that actually want to know or want to listen to more of a public side of this, there's actually a very good book that I'm reading right now. It's called Public Parts by Jeff Jarvis. You should actually read this book, Vince, because he's actually arguing against you. He's saying that people should embrace publicness because publicness, you would get a lot of benefits out of publicness. For example, for him, he had prostate cancer.
Okay.
And instead of hiding it and not talking about it, he like pretty much posted it on like his blog, Twitter, Facebook, and whatever. And he got the feedback that he got helped him so much to get through it and to find out like what he needed to do in order to luckily it was treatable, but to get through that, you know, he had like his own little mini support group just because he basically said it on the internet.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
Know,
that's one thing.
There are some benefits of posting stuff online. Like for example, another example I can give you. I posted one time I was on Foursquare that I was at a specific store, and my buddy posted on Foursquare that he was at the restaurant next door. So I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go say hi, and I went to go say hi. You know, there's certain things that take into moderation. Like doing it all the time and like having your life based on it is kind of crazy. But I mean, these tools do help us in such a way.
Yeah, they do help us in certain situations. If you want to be trackable, if you want all that kind of stuff. But however, like you said, it's moderation.
Yeah.
You know, so let's say I was out with my fiance and I just want to be alone, then I would turn off my location tracking or whatever.
Of course, don't post.
You know what I mean? Don't post, or just that's it. But still, like, it's all in moderation, and I think that we are too connected, and people just got to like slow down. You know, the internet's always going to be there. You know,
it's going to be there. Don't worry.
It's going to be there. Don't worry. It's not going anywhere.
We are not going to take away the internet.
No, the internet's not going to break.
Awesome. So I guess we're going to have like a poll on this. Are we too connected? Yes or no? And we'll post it up and then we'll talk about the results next week.
Yeah.
Cool. So for us, that's pretty much what happened this week.
There were other things, but I don't think
it's more the patent lawsuit, blah blah blah, rumor, garbage, whatever. You know, if there's something major about that, then we'll talk about it. But I'm not going to do a week by week analysis on patent lawsuits, because that's really out of my expertise. And to be honest with you, hearing about it all the time, I just don't want to hear about it anymore. I'd rather engage in more interesting conversations like what we just had.
Yeah, I agree. I don't like. We're done with the patent thing. We're not. Like we said last time, unless it actually changes something, then we'll talk about it.
Like if they, for example, if Oracle totally has to kill Android and Android is being removed from everywhere, then we'll talk about it.
Yeah,
but
then we'll talk
about it. If it's patent agreements and blah blah blah, no one cares. Whatever. Anyway, so that is this week. It's a short week, but there's something I think it's better that it's a little more condensed.
Yeah.
So.
I agree.
Vinny, where can everyone reach us?
They could follow us on Twitter at TGTP1. TGTP1. They could email us through our Hotmail account, which is tgtp1@hotmail.com. They could find us on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, TGTP1's channel. What else do we have? Facebook, That Generic Tech Podcast.
Like us on Facebook.
Like us. I want to announce a milestone. We have 250 views across 11 episodes. Right? This is episode 12.
Da-da-da-da.
Da-na-na-na.
Awesome.
Wait a sec. We have...
Refresh.
Yeah, we have... we have 10 episodes that are uploaded.
Okay, because the other one took forever to...
The first episode we don't have posted.
Okay.
Or something like that. Anyway, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... I can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... 10 episodes right now posted on Facebook. So across those 10 episodes, we have 250 views. Cool.
So there's going to be more things. We're going to be adding a real RSS feed so people can actually subscribe with their catchers, and also we're going to try to put it on iTunes, and iTunes is pretty cool. So we're going to advance with all that stuff. So if you guys have any comments, questions, suggestions, you hate us, you love us, please have a conversation with us. We have 20 million ways to contact us. So if you don't contact us, well, then you just suck.
Yeah, you don't even. You're just a horrible human being.
Awesome. So that's it for this week.
Cool.
How are you feeling, Vince, about this?
About what?
This episode.
It's a kick-ass episode.
That's what I like to hear. All right.
Kick-ass. All right.
All right. So that's it for this week. So I'm Timothy Matthews.
I'm Vinny Massini.
And we'll talk to you next time.
Peace in the Middle East.